They made headlines all over the world. Some local filmmakers were shooting a documentary in Africa when their plane crashed. Tonight we sit down to find out how they survived and why, even after the crash, they haven't lost their focus.
That looks good, doesn't it?
There are many ways to make a difference.
You'll see me come into view right now.
Dan Paris's way was to make a film.
I wanted to reach a lot of people, and film's the way to do it.
But he's viewing his first big project through the lens of adversity.
I think 1/3 of the city lives in the slum.
A few years ago, the 25-year-old Marquette High School alum had done mission work in the slums of Kenya. He was determined to go back and film a documentary on poverty in Africa. He began by recruiting 3 St. Louis area friends, including 27-year-old Rob Lair.
I don't want to say it sounded like fun, but it kind of did. It sounded like an adventure, and that's kind of what I was all about back then.
After months of planning, they began their journey last July by walking and hitchhiking to New York and later all over Europe, while trying to live on just $1.25 each a day.
We got to experience almost every different kind of level of poverty. I mean, poor people hitchhike. We slept in abandoned buildings. We slept in homeless shelters. We slept in the middle of fields. We slept in parks in the middle of cities.
I mean, it was also the faith element of just wanting to be in a situation where I could depend on nothing other than God.
Soon after arriving in Kenya in late July and meeting the people in the Kibera slum, their purpose was coming into focus.
And they just are constantly eating meals together, sharing food, sharing time, sharing their lives. And it's an amazing sense of community that you don't see in America.
I think they really just want some respect, just to be understood as human beings and not some kind of charity case.
But more than 1 million people live in Kibera's 2.5 square miles. There are no streets or sewage control. 1/3 of the population has HIV. For the documentary, it was decided it should be seen from above.
We didn't need an establishing shot of the slums to show the ground level things that we'd filmed the day before. We wanted to show the vastness of what it would look like from the sky.
That's when the mission took on a stunning intermission.
About to hop in the plane.
Paris and Lair rented a few hours of flight time on a Cessna 206.
Oh, it was this little plane, tin can, pretty much, tin can with wings.
Sitting behind the pilot and his friend, they aimed their cameras out the open door. Everything was fine for about an hour, and then it wasn't.
And the pilot jerks up on the plane once, and he jerks up on it twice, and it just didn't seem to lift at all.
Then the plane hit some power lines and slammed into an apartment building.
I remember seeing a bright white light, and then it felt like you were just playing football, getting hit from 7 different sides.
The pilot, Frank Toes, died on impact. Lair was able to get out and free Paris, then went back to try and free the pilot's friend, Ryan Williams.
And I reached through the fire and got his seatbelt off, and I felt like, okay, maybe I can get him out, and then my leg caught on fire.
Williams died a week later of his injuries. Less than an hour after being rushed to the hospital, the filmmakers continued their documentary.
They hit the fire line, and then I was like, okay, now I'm serious.
But I just walked over to Dan, and I was like, dude, we got to talk about it. We have to talk about this.
And I was like, this is when I die.
When he put the camera on me, I knew it was the right thing, and I knew I needed to tell the story.
Paris had a broken back, broken collarbone, and other injuries. He spent 2 weeks in a Kenyan hospital. After they both came home, Lair's recovery was more mental than physical.
Hearing a plane, just hearing a motor or anything like that, even being in a car with the window open, just bringing it back to any piece of that day, and it would just immediately push me into kind of like an anxiety attack.
It's now 3 months later, and the other 2 members of their crew have finally come home.
Yeah, of course, very excited that we could see each other again, that they're doing all right, that we are going to begin to start this project.
Even after the plane crash,
the color just like yelling at you.
The group decided that the project had to continue, figuring they weren't sure they'd get another chance.
We were there to rally our generation to make fighting poverty a priority.
The hope is to have the documentary ready for the Sundance Film Festival next summer. The plan may have changed, but the message has not.
The message for me was just get people to care. Get people at least, even if they don't care, pay attention.
Our mission is to connect those who need something to live for with those who just need something to live.
As a group, it's their first film, but they learned what many experienced filmmakers already know. Even the best scripts sometimes need a rewrite. The Butyrka brothers traveled to places like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo as they continued this mission. Paris and Lair are still getting over their physical and mental injuries. Now, if you would like to learn more about this project, we can link you to their website when you click on this story on our website, ksdk.com.